Shalom, loved ones. My name is Troy Cady, and I invite you to join me now as I offer midday prayers with PlayWell communities. PlayWell is a faith network of those who are learning to live by the unforced rhythms of grace to help us keep time to the rhythm of God's heartbeat and the movement of God's love. We like to pause to pray at various times throughout the day when we are able. During March, we are celebrating Women's History Month. And one of the things I've been doing is reading the writings of women authors to celebrate their accomplishments and the beautiful words that these authors have offered to the world. In today's time of prayer, I'd like to feature a poem by the current Poet Laureate of the United States, Limón. The poem will come from her book called The Hurting Kind, which is a book organized in 4 parts, 1 part for each season of the year. And as we are approaching spring, it's just around the corner here in a couple days, I'd like to read a poem of hers in the section called Spring. The poem is called Sanctuary. Well, with that, let's get ready. We light this candle as a reminder that Christ, the light of the world, is present with us. Hear the words of Jesus from Matthew chapter 11. It's translated by Eugene Peterson in the Message. Jesus says, "Come to me, get away with me, and you'll recover your life. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace." In the middle of the day, we return to you, Jesus, our center. In you, we live and move and have our being. Like parched souls searching for a spring, we thirst for you and your ways. With joy, we draw water from the wells of your salvation. Let's take some moments of silence now to just enjoy being with God, who is present to you wherever you are. Join me in this confession. Reorient ourselves, get our grounding. I'll pause after each line so that you can make this confession your own. I believe that I am God's beloved child. I am learning to let God's love fill my heart, to let it shape my life. So I may be just who God has made me to be, nothing more and nothing less. That I may abide in love and share God's love with all that I am. Amen. Here's a poem from the Poet Laureate of the United States, the current Poet Laureate, Ada Limón. This comes from her book called The Hurting Kind, and it's in part one, which is dedicated poems inspired by the season of spring. And this particular poem is called Sanctuary. I'll read through it a couple times so that we can let its words sink deep into our hearts. Suppose it's easy to slip into another's green skin, bury yourself in leaves, and wait for a breaking open, a breaking out. I have before been tricked into believing I could be both an I and the world. The great I of the world is both gaze and gloss, to be swallowed by being seen, a dream, to be made whole by being not a witness, but witnessed. Especially love that last line about how when someone or witnesses who we are and bears witness to that, it makes us whole when we are seen. You are seen by God in love. And that is enough to make us whole. I'll read this again. You can hear the images of the leaves in springtime that begin to pop out of trees and other plants. It's a poem about getting ourselves inside that life, being witnessed by it, not just witnessing it. Suppose it's easy to slip into another's green skin, bury yourself in leaves and wait for a breaking open, a breaking out. I have before been tricked into believing I could be both an I and the world. The great I of the world is both gaze and gloss, to be swallowed by being seen, a dream, to be made whole by being not a witness, but witnessed. We commit to you the work that is done and the work that is yet undone. May your beauty rest upon us, Lady Wisdom. We trust you will complete the incomplete. We believe you will finish what you started. May we meet you on the road with us, Brother Jesus. As we labor, be our resting place. Please make our work restful and our rest fruitful. May we remain present to your presence, Great Spirit. And now receive this blessing. It comes from Teresa of Avila. Let nothing disturb you, nothing affright you. All things are passing. God never changes. Patient endurance attains to all things. Whom God possesses, in nothing is wanting. Alone, God suffices. Amen. Well, thank you for joining me in another segment of Midday Prayer with PlayWell Communities. I invite you to join me again tomorrow. I'm hoping that I can do morning prayers tomorrow, so I invite you to look for me then. And if so, I'll be looking at the story of Ruth in the Bible. In any case, keep checking back this month as we continue to celebrate the contributions of women throughout history to the common good. Above all, be loved, because you are beloved.